Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured.
Sometimes that is better.
Afraid of the dark?
No, afraid of what's in the dark.
No! He got me, Charlie! He bit me!
Deputies report that in some instances, only parts of a corpse had been removed.
There are some schools of thought that suggest the possibility that one could be in two places at once.
I can't tell what's real anymore. So I wander, following the tall man's path of destruction. One eye out for those spheres, and the other for him.
He is clearly delusional.
You're not even real. You're my bad dream. Stay out of my way.
Oh, it really is an amazing story.
Epic.
This is the HorrorDrunks podcast. It's a special episode for Phantasm 5 because
It's like
Randy's
short film. It's
Randy's
like
favorite franchise.
our short episode. We haven't done anything like brand new. I think Southbound was like the closest thing that we did to like a brand new movie.
No,
Yeah, I think that was.
was it?
Yeah.
It was either that or John dies at the end.
No, John Dies
that
at the end was
that's
2000.
years old at this point. Nobody
11.
got to hear that one anyway.
What the fuck's your problem, bro? Anyways, Randy, since you're the fan,
That's
PHAN
fan. Well, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I was happier with it than I expected to be, but it wasn't as good as I had hoped that it would be. Like, in my heart of hearts.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty entertaining. I don't think I've ever seen part 4. And like I was telling you guys, I've seen 1 through 3, but 3 was when I was really, really young. So the storyline was a bit confusing to me. But
The storyline,
was entertaining.
I thought the story was like among the best and most creative of the entire franchise.
You think so?
Oh yeah, the dimensional
Yeah,
slips
same.
and the time slips and just in and out, and as far as disjointed, like nightmarish, like disorienting, like vibes go, it doesn't like the first one really achieves that as well as this newest one. It keeps you like you can't just casually watch this movie. You have to fucking kind of pay attention to what's going on, or it's gonna be complete confusion for you.
Yeah, because I was saying it started to make sense to me like about halfway through, but I just didn't know if I was missing something from not seeing part 4. Definitely would say like the ones I have seen, part 1 and 2 are definitely better.
Yeah, it's the weakest one in the franchise for sure. That's not really disputable, but I was honestly, I don't know, I was really expecting that it was going to be completely horrible and just break my fucking heart, but it didn't, and it wasn't. So
After I watched it, I felt bad for you.
really?
As a fan, yeah.
There was a lot of it that was like disappointing and kind of made me cringe a little bit, like the one scene right in the beginning, the chase scene between Reggie and the Cuda, and like the horrible CGI Sentinel spheres with the never-ending bullets in his goddamn gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's using a fucking semi-automatic handgun, and it just keeps throwing bullets nonstop.
When he comes out the desert, he said something like, "I wish I had a icy pop or something."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he was an ice cream man.
Yeah. Okay, that's what that was.
Yeah, because I caught that. I thought that was kind of hilarious.
I'll always love Reggie. Reggie was just like, he was like one of the only perfect things about the film, honestly. The tall man's dialogue was cool. It was fun to see him have so much dialogue, because usually he only says a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah.
But he really got to have quite a monologue there in that one.
Yeah, it was a nice way to send off Angus Scrim from the tall man.
The supporting cast was absolute dog
God.
shit. The dwarf guy was horrible.
Yeah, what was his name? Chewie or something
I
like that?
don't care what his fucking name was. He was terrible. Yeah, all the supporting cast was really bad, except for,
Like the main
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, because I didn't realize, it's been, like I said, it's been so long, I did not realize that the same actor that played Mike was still in the series.
Yeah. The only time he wasn't was in the second one, and it was because Universal insisted that Coscarelli get somebody from SAG to play the role of Mike. So
okay.
it was almost Brad Pitt that played that role.
Really?
Yeah, in that movie. It came down
Wow.
to like Brad Pitt and the guy that, I can't remember the actor's name, that actually played the role. And I don't know why Brad Pitt didn't take the part. Would have been an interesting...
Well, he didn't win it.
Did he not?
Oh, I don't know.
I
Seems
didn't-
like he would if he's...
Yeah, it seems like he would have beaten that guy.
Yeah.
In an act off or whatever.
But if he went through that far of auditions and he was a young actor, he would have took it.
I don't know that he'd even done really bit parts at that point. Like, I can't remember him doing even small roles until like True Romance and stuff.
What was Cutting Class was like one of his first ones. It's a horror kind of slasher.
Yeah, the CG in Ravager was almost unforgivably bad.
It's like the Sci-Fi Channel, the head of Sci-Fi Channel was watching the movie and he kind of like rolled his eyes like, we used that effect on our computers in 2005.
Like, the only scenes where the CG was really effective and kind of cool was on like the Tall Man's Homeworld or whatever.
I was just going to say, like, that fiery planet. But yeah, like, the CG spheres was... I was able to ignore the fact that they're CG, but, like, every so often I was just going, why did they just do CG?
I wasn't. That was the biggest, like, my biggest complaint about that movie was the CG Sentinel spheres. Like, they'd always achieved it with practical effects up until that point. And that's one of...
I think this was a fan-funded movie too, so... And it was originally a web series.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, yeah, I heard it was a web series that got picked up.
Yeah, I'm high already.
Oh boy.
This is going to be fun.
Are you going to run it down a little bit, or...?
So it's kind of hard to describe the plot. One of the plots, it's a few different, like, timelines and realities that intersect. And one of the plots, Reggie wakes up 10 years after the events at the end of the fourth one, after they blow up the Tall Man in the desert with the hearse bomb. The entire world is dead. It's post-apocalypse, and like it's kind of like Terminator 2, and Mike is like John Connor, and they're like the Resistance or whatever. And in another reality, he's an old man with dementia who's dying in a convalescent center.
Yeah, but he like still gets like images of what happened previously, but he's completely and utterly confused about it.
It's like Bubba Hotep.
Right. Yeah. I guess I didn't even really make that connection, but yeah, there's that. That's fun. I didn't even think about that. And I think that there's like a third reality where he wakes up in the desert directly after the events, after the events of the fourth one.
I was going to say one of his realities was he was James Taylor getting pussy in the desert with a guitar. I don't know.
He just like takes the song from the first one and puts new lyrics to it for it. What the fuck is that? Some kind of giant truck. It's fucking Mad Max Fury Road out in front of the house right now. Yeah, so all three of those different realities have their own storylines and characters, and they all intersect, and we bounce back and forth between them. So, I don't want to give away too much.
Right.
Like in all the Phantasm movies, people that you're supposed to love and care about get dead pretty frequently, pretty horribly. But, yeah, so it's extremely fun to see Reggie brandish the 4-barrel and drive the Cuda. It's cool to see Angus Scrim. It's cool to see Sentinel Spheres flying around, even if they are CGI, because one of them is like the size of the Technodrome. It's I don't want to like poo-poo on it too much, but it has a lot of flaws and a lot of problems, but it's also
nice ending.
It's not. I don't see it as being any kind of an ending whatsoever. It's completely open-ended.
They could have left it at 4, though. I mean, this for the franchise, for the ending.
They could have left it at 3. 3 was the perfect ending for the whole franchise.
You wouldn't have 4, though. But you can't say that about 5.
No, 5 is like totally open-ended, and 4 mostly is too. 4 could have ended the series. 5 leaves it way more open.
Oh, does it? Yeah,
you watched it.
I said part 4 I've never seen.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I thought it was a fitting end, but like I said, I haven't seen part 4, so I wanted to watch all of them before I got to Ravager, but I just did not have the time. Definitely think it was it'll be in the collection once, especially if they come out with a Blu-ray box set of the whole series, like I've been hearing.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely gonna buy it when it comes out. I mean, it's good enough that I'm going to buy it. So there's that. But it is. I mean, it's the least good of the franchise, and most people totally disregard the 3rd one and just absolutely detest the 4th one. Kind of like the Alien franchise. They shouldn't. So fuck them.
From the ones that because I still haven't seen part 4, but I will say that out of this series, I think it's the most coherent in a way series compared to all the other ones. Like Friday the 13th has a lot of awesome sequels, but there are a lot of duds in it. But
right.
Nightmare on Elm Street has 3 good movies, and the rest are not good. Same with the Halloween series. So it's this one has at least a solid.
There's a reason that it's my favorite franchise.
Right.
I mean, it's not just that it's the most original and creative and inventive, and the fact that you could take the ideas from one Phantasm movie and make a dozen different fucking movies.
Right.
It's it's a solid franchise all the way through. I don't know. I could sit here all night and jaw about how much I love the Phantasm franchise.
Right.
I think we're just supposed to be talking about this.
Yeah, like I say, all together though, I think all the ones I've seen have all been pretty good stories.
Ken's not talking at all. I got him too stoned.
Yeah, I'm really high. I'm just listening and watching this thing on the
how are there still mosquitoes, bro? That doesn't even make any sense to me.
I don't think, like you said this before, I don't think remakes can actually hurt a movie or a franchise.
No remake or sequel or anything.
Well, but I honestly think a sequel could ruin or put a black eye on a franchise, because if kids nowadays, they might not want to go back to 1979 to watch the first one, so they might start off on Ravager or something. Is that what it's called?
Ravager.
I said Ravager.
Well, it's not like either one of them are words, so.
But I think that could hurt a franchise. Not necessarily a remake, but a bad sequel.
A bad sequel can derail the popularity of a franchise, but it can never harm the preceding films.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, a first-time viewer would see that
somebody
one.
might not seek out the first 4 films.
It's just, they might not, it's not good enough, I don't think, to start off on and become obsessed with the Phantasm.
The biggest problem was that Coscarelli didn't fucking direct it. I don't know why. It's not like the guy's busy. It's not like the guy's fucking doing anything. The guy, for his being involved in directing for as long as he has, his filmography is just tiny.
Right.
It's almost perfect, but it's tiny.
Yeah, because Coscarelli just wrote this one, didn't he?
Yeah, he co-wrote it with the guy that directed it.
Oh, okay.
But, other than that, all 4 Phantasm movies, Beastmaster, Survival Quest, Bubba Hotep, John Dies at the End. The guy's filmography is very impressive.
Right.
He's just so many years between films, and I don't understand why he didn't do this one, because as far as I know, he's not really working on anything right now.
Yes, I know he's I think he's in the process of writing the sequel to Bubba Hotep, but that's about all.
He's been talking about Bubba Nosferatu since Bubba Hotep